Is it possible to be vegan and a grifter? And are wealthy vegans out of touch? We're gonna talk about it. Hi, this is Jason. I've been thinking about filthy rich vegans and whether or not they're good for society and the vegan movement. Love to hear what you think about it. So, because I'm a social media influencer and because I have a little bit of a following, it's allowed me to have access to certain social circles that maybe other people would normally have access to. And it's not that I'm a climber, but I do feel that it's important because I have a journalistic view of the world, that I experience all that veganism has to offer here in Los Angeles and beyond. So there's this element, and I see it on social media. And some of them are connected with venture capital. Some of them are dialed into other businesses, but they're vegan. And some of them are conspicuous about their consumption. Others bling it out and basically show their lavish lifestyles and their fancy cars and lovely houses. And you get Instagram stories of like nice parties. And honestly, that's not my vibe. I have a middle class existence. I grew up middle class. I work hard for what I do. However, there's one thing I'm very interested in is the survival of vegan restaurants. And about a year ago, there was this event. And I get invited to a lot of different events. And they basically just stay in my inbox, or I just delete them. I don't want to have an experience that I don't feel is important to what I do. I don't want to go to some fancy award ceremony. I'd much rather go to a small hole-in-the-wall business and go to get a great meal and post about it online. Or I'd rather go to a collection of pop-ups. I feel like my time is worth more to go to these small businesses and try to pop them up than to be in a self-congratulatory situation or mix with certain people that I don't blend well with. So anyway, there was this event, and it was searching for answers to save vegan restaurants, because there was a rash of vegan restaurants that were closing at the time. They still are. They're all struggling. I felt like it was an important topic. So I went ahead and I RSVP'd for the event. And I knew the organizer. I made sure that I connected with the organizer of the event because the organizer was in the food space. And so I just wanted to be aware that I was going to be there, and perhaps I could help promote their brand as well. But really, the reason I went was to be a part of a discussion about vegan businesses and how they're struggling and how to support them. The event was at this extremely exclusive club. Seems like they're doing a video. Oh no, I'm fine, thank you. Immediately when I get to the place, I realize this does not feel like I'm gonna have a normal vegan experience. It was at a very fancy club that's like a members only club. And it was in Hollywood, and it was in an office building, and it's one of these huge places that has like a kind of like rooftop bar, and then they have a big restaurant, and downstairs they had this theater where the event took place. And it was like difficult to actually even get in because obviously I wasn't a member, I was a guest. I was like almost late for the event because they had me in a little like holding pen, and then once they got the go-ahead that I was okay to go into the event space, they allowed me to go up to the elevator to get to the event. And it was a real posh theater where they had, I think, 3 guests. One was a owner of a restaurant that I knew about and I'd been to. The other was like some kind of like a smaller entrepreneur that was selling cookies, who I'd never seen before in my life. And then the other was a venture capital executive that was working with Beyond Meat. And what transpired was a panel discussion with like basically all general terms, no real solutions. The restaurant owner did express interesting perspective about how hard it was to run the business and the expense and the effort it takes to run a business. And I appreciate that insight. But I mean, that was a fleeting 5 minutes and something I probably could have seen on a TikTok video. The guy from Beyond Meat said that we needed to get behind Beyond Meat, and every time we buy a Beyond Burger, we're saving the planet, which I feel is up to debate on that. But so I didn't get much out of the panel discussion. And it ended, and everyone sort of gathered together, and I kind of just like went out a side door, and I just started like walking around, and I'm like, oh, let me take a look at the view. So I went upstairs, and I saw the people that were part of this like social club. I mean, obviously not vegan people. Just kind of walked around. I ordered a Diet Coke that was, I don't know, like $7. And then I noticed all of the people in the panel and the audience were all filing into another room where there was all this food and this big vegan spread. And I didn't know about it. It was like some like rich people party thing. And I was thinking, like, if they had just taken the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 it took to put on this event and created a fund for vegan businesses in distress, maybe they would have done something helpful instead of like been part of this sort of congratulatory situation where they can all get together, pretend that they care about vegan businesses, and then have this kind of party. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh, I don't know. Just because people are vegan doesn't make them nice people. I feel like there's elements of this in like every movement, every group, every society. But when it gets rough, the real people maintain their integrity. I mean, it really turns out that the event wasn't for supporting small businesses or coming up with solutions. The event was for people to get together and make themselves feel better about themselves. They all connected and had a fun party. I mean, should I get down on people that just want to have a good time? Anyway, that's the story. I hope everyone had a good time listening to it. I might have exaggerated it for dramatic impact, or maybe I underplayed it. Anyway, see you later.